Our narrative takes root in the archaic era, a period marking the inception of human communication. Fact and fiction coalesced, weaving a complex tapestry of mythology and folklore. The truth was orally transmitted, cascading down through the ages. Accounts of divine beings, creators, and heavenly interferences were employed to elucidate the enigmas of the universe. As enthralling as these narratives were, their factual precision was their defining characteristic. These tales fostered ideologies such as the theory of evolution, a concept that, despite its longevity, has failed to secure unanimous acceptance as an irrefutable fact. Despite its extensive endorsement within the scientific fraternity, it is far from being devoid of criticisms and imperfections. Some doubters challenge the comprehensiveness of the fossil record, invoking the lack of transitional fossils as proof. Others emphasize the complexity of certain biological attributes, asserting that they could not have evolved progressively over aeons in accordance with Darwin's theory. The evolution discourse persists, igniting fervent debates on all fronts. It serves as a reminder that the quest for cognition and comprehension is an everlasting expedition, reminiscent of the early days of human existence. Venturing further into the depths of ancient history, we stumble upon the intriguing subject of teleology and creation. Teleology is defined as the philosophical analysis of design and purpose in nature. This fascinating perspective posits that every element of nature has an end goal and is persistently working towards achieving it. This theory was embraced by our forebears to elucidate the creation of the world and its complex systems. They held the belief that the world was crafted with a purpose in mind, and each component within it, from the tiniest speck of dust to the most formidable beasts, played a part in the grand design of life. This concept held significant sway in many ancient societies. For instance, the ancient Greeks maintained the belief that the universe was devised with a specific objective in mind, and each creature was designed to perform a distinct role. In the same vein, ancient Egyptian lore ascribed the creation of the world and all it contains to the gods, believing they had a specific reason for everything. Ancient Chinese philosophy was not left out of this narrative, as it also carried a significant element of teleology, with the idea of Tao or the way, implying that everything nature adheres to a predetermined course. Teleology wielded immense influence on the evolution of early religious and philosophical systems. It served as a blueprint for our ancestors to decode the world around them, blending reality and myth in their narratives. They used it as a tool to comprehend their world by associating purpose and design with inexplicable natural phenomena, resulting in the formulation of complex mythologies and religious stories that have been handed down through generations. In conclusion, teleology afforded our predecessors a unique perspective through which they interpreted the world. It was a tool they used to intertwine the natural and the supernatural, creating enthralling tales and beliefs that have endured the passage of time. As we advance in our exploration, we'll observe how these ancient concepts have remained consistent and shaped our comprehension of the world and the theory of creationism. Navigating from the bygone eras, we journey into a period marked by fervent disputes and intellectual contention. High-profile critics rose to challenge Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, proposing the concept of irreducible complexity as a counterpoint. One of the proponents of this theory was Michael Behe, Behe, a biochemist and author, who famously argued that some biological systems were so intricately designed that their sequential evolution seemed unfathomable. The complexity of the eye, for instance, was a prime example, with skeptics, including biologist Jonathan Wells, questioning how organism with a partially formed eye could survive or evolve. They also brought attention to the Cambrian explosion, a period highlighted by mathematician and philosopher William Dembski, where life forms appeared to have emerged all at once, contradicting the slow, gradual process proposed by theory. These critics emphasized the shortage of transitional fossils in geological records, wielding them as hard evidence against Darwinism. Geneticist John C. Sanford contended that if evolution was, shouldn't there be more transitional specimens signifying a steady transformation of species? The scarcity of these transitional artifacts between species was a cornerstone of their skepticism, casting doubts on the reliability of Darwin's theory. In this pursuit of truth, they also introduced the concept of intelligent design, the idea that life is too complex, too intricately precise to have spontaneously emerged. Armed with a PhD in geophysics and planetary science, Stephen C. Meyer argued that the fine-tuning of the universe, the precise balance of conditions necessary for life, hinted at the work of a supreme creator. They also proposed that our inherent understanding of right and wrong could only originate from a higher moral being. Further scrutiny was applied to the role of mutations and genetic variation in evolution, suggesting that the critical mutations necessary for natural selection were either exceedingly rare or insufficient to account for the myriad of life on Earth. However, it's crucial to remember that these figures represent a minority viewpoint within the scientific community. Their arguments, while thought-provoking, have been extensively critiqued and largely rejected by mainstream scientists. But this relentless quest for knowledge, this unwavering search for truth, resonates with our innate curiosity and our eternal pursuit for understanding. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, a period often referred to as the Dark Ages. The Church was the primary source of fact. Anything outside of religious doctrine was considered heresy. The truth was not a universal concept, but a tool in the hands of the powerful manipulated according to their whims and interests. Venturing deeper into this concept, let's conceptualize a hypothetical research study similar to the one pioneered by Kelemen and his team. The central objective would be to delve into whether the seeds of belief in a supreme creator or entity are innately planted in young children. This hypothetical study would gather a kaleidoscope of participants from various cultural backgrounds, spanning from early childhood to adolescence, and pit their beliefs against a control group of adults. The study would employ an array of data collection methods, including interviews, questionnaires, and narrative analyses to scrutinize their beliefs. Participants would be urged to craft or react to stories about the universe's inception and life's origins. These narratives would subsequently be meticulously dissected by the scholars to glean threads reflecting the existence of a supreme creator or entity. While this is a hypothetical scenario, it is a fitting embodiment of the ethos of the scholastic era. Shift from blind acceptance to critical questioning, from a monolithic narrative to a multiplicity of perspectives. This paradigm shift laid the foundation for the Renaissance, a time when science and reason took center stage, as underscored by Brooker. The data collected would be rigorously analyzed through both quantitative and qualitative lenses. This could unearth developmental patterns in beliefs about a superior creator, with younger children potentially demonstrating such beliefs more prominently compared to older children and adults, a pattern discerned by Bering. Cross-cultural comparisons could shed light on the sway of cultural elements on the formation of these beliefs. In this hypothetical exploration, scholars challenge the existence of a superior creator, reflecting the spirit of fervent questioning that characterized the era of scholasticism. It underscores an innate tendency in humans to attribute the existence of the world to a superior creator and the influence of cultural and developmental factors on these beliefs. As we delve into the transition from the scholasticism epoch to the Renaissance, let's embark on a journey to understand the evolution of cognitive science, a consolidated field encompassing psychology, philosophy, artificial intelligence, neuroscience, linguistics, and anthropology. Notably, it was during this era that researchers such as Justin L. Barrett began to decipher the foundation of belief systems in children, drawing parallels with the scholastic era's dedication to investigation and knowledge enhancement. Published in Cognitive Science in 2008, Barrett's empirical study aimed to examine the genesis of beliefs in a higher power or supernatural being in children. The study, which included participants aged 5 to 7 from both religious and non-religious backgrounds, delved into their comprehension and beliefs about various natural phenomena, like the origins of life and the purpose of animals. Intriguingly, Barrett found responses from children, even from non-religious families, tilted towards supernatural explanations for these phenomena, implying a cognitive predisposition in children to perceive natural phenomena as acts of a higher power or creator. This propensity may be a manifestation of inherent cognitive distortions or intuitive thinking processes. However, Barrett's study also underscored the profound influence of individual and sociocultural factors in shaping belief systems in children. While certain children may innately gravitate towards supernatural explanations, others might harbor more secular beliefs molded by their sociocultural milieu. This finding underlines a delicate interplay of cognitive, social, and cultural influences in developing children's beliefs about the supernatural. This era marks the advent of scientific into human cognition and belief systems, thus setting the stage for the Renaissance, an epoch where science and reason took center stage. Stay with us as we voyage into the Renaissance, a period of enlightenment hallmarked by a transformation in information dissemination and a shift from ecclesiastical narratives to widespread knowledge. Don't like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss the next leg of our historical adventure. Then arrived the Renaissance, a period of enlightenment. The creation of the printing press brought about a revolution in the spread of information. This signified a major shift from narrative dictated by the church to a wide distribution of knowledge. Science and reason arose as leaders in the quest. Fact started to come out of fiction's shadows, with science and reason spearheading the charge. Following the evolution of time, the scientific method became the beacon of truth. This systematic method follows a path of discovery, incorporating crucial steps such as observation, experimentation, and analysis. The Industrial Revolution was a pivotal era that catalyzed the widespread adoption of this scientific method. Nevertheless, as our knowledge of the world continues to expand, it has been revealed that even this beacon of truth has its restrictions. There exist certain territories where the scientific method doesn't provide all-encompassing answers. Take, for instance, ethical decisions and morals. Science aids us in deciphering the neurological foundations of our decisions. However, it fails to navigate us towards what is the right course of action. Likewise, metaphysical queries about the nature of existence often supersede the jurisdiction of science. In such circumstances, alternative strategies like reasoning come to the forefront. This methodology, deeply ingrained in philosophy, enables us to reach conclusions based on solid arguments. It empowers us to comprehend complex subjects such as the purpose of life, the verity of existence, and the process of ethical decision-making. In addition to reasoning, there exist other techniques to unveil the truth which retain their significance. Consider, for instance, the role of historical analysis in comprehending societal transitions or the impact of personal experience in molding our worldview. While these methods may not share the same systematic approach as science, they offer insights that hold equal validity and play a vital role in understanding the intricate mosaic of our world. The Industrial Revolution didn't just stop at accelerating the uptake of the scientific method, it further hastened this shift. Technological advancements during this era made information more readily available than ever before. However, it's paramount to comprehend that while the scientific method has indeed revolutionized our world, it isn't the sole avenue to establish truth. In certain fields and circumstances, alternative strategies can prove to be equally, if not more, illuminating. Without a doubt, science stands as one method in a plethora for comprehending our surroundings and solidifying facts. As we plunge deeper into this pursuit of wisdom, we should not overlook the crucial role of other methods of understanding, specifically logical reasoning. These elements hold a key position in the process of our comprehension. They operate on fundamental principles of logic, drawing conclusions from certain assumptions or premises. Embracing logical reasoning, both deductive and inductive, is vital for our intellectual journey, assisting us in unraveling the complexities of intricate abstract notions. Philosophy, on the other hand, is a noteworthy tool for investigation. It has a significant part in probing core questions pertaining to existence, wisdom, morality, and the essence of reality. Through contemplative introspection and rational discourse, philosophy offers us enlightenment on metaphysical mysteries that often bewilder science. Additionally, mathematics is an indispensable tool in our intellectual toolkit. With its formal language and principles, mathematics holds unique importance in illustrating relationships and patterns. It provides us means to scrutinize these patterns and structures, thereby making it an effective method to solidify facts, specifically in fields of physics and engineering. To some, while science is an influential tool for understanding the natural world, other potent methods like logic, reasoning, philosophy, and mathematics also exist for establishing facts and discerning truth in various fields of inquiry. By amalgamating these diverse methodologies, we can achieve a more comprehensive and nuanced comprehension of complex phenomena and answer questions that might transcend the limitations of empirical science. Stepping into the 20th century, a new game changer made its debut: mass media. The power of mass media lay in its ability to transport information and misinformation right to the edge of our fingertips, Truth was often bypassed for sensationalism, causing fact and fiction to blend into one another. Now, in the age of the internet and social media, fact checking has transformed into an essential ability needed to uncover the truth. The line differentiating is even more obscure now, with the emergence of fake news and deep fakes, making the task of discerning truth a substantial challenge. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection stands as one of the most significant scientific breakthroughs in history. Yet, like all scientific theories, it has undergone continuous refinement and expansion as new evidence emerges. Darwin's understanding of genetics has been substantially refined through advancements in molecular biology. The role of transitional fossils in supporting and expanding Darwin's theory is crucial. These fossils have reinforced the principle of gradual evolutionary change, as well as revealed complexities that Darwin's initial theory could not account for. The influence, developmental biology, and ecological interactions on refining our comprehension of evolution has been substantial. Developmental biology provides a more advanced perspective on heredity and reveals the genetic changes that drive evolution as being far more intricate than what Darwin had envisaged. Ecological interactions, on the other hand, have changed our view of evolution from being solely about survival of the fittest to a broader understanding that includes the intricate interactions that occur between organisms and their environment. Whereas Darwin's understanding of evolution was groundbreaking in his era, later scientific discoveries and advancements have further expanded and refined our understanding of these processes. As we continue to evolve, so does our perception of what constitutes fact and fiction. Darwin's seminal work continues to be instrumental as we delve deeper into the exploration and study of life, showing that the intricacies of our existence are even more complex than what Darwin initially proposed. To conclude, the progression of fact and fiction has been an intriguing adventure through diverse historical periods. This trek started from the ancient oral narratives, moved on to the Middle Ages dominated by religious control, passed through the period of enlightenment during the Renaissance, and has landed in our current information-centric age. This temporal voyage paints a fluid picture of fact and fiction, which is always subject to change. The boundary between these two notions varies from being crystal clear to being incredibly obscure, often reflecting the socio-political atmosphere of the era. A perfect illustration of this variation is the ongoing debates and disputes related to Darwin's theory of evolution. This key theory has received a range of reactions, from approval to criticism, demonstrating how the demarcation between fact and fiction can become affected by societal and cultural viewpoints. Essence, fact, and fiction aren't inflexible entities. They are bent and shaped our societal norms, technological progress, and our comprehension of the world we inhabit. As we persistently investigate and question, we might discover that the line separating fact and fiction isn't as distinct as we formerly believed. Thus, the next time you find yourself doubting the truth, reminisce about this historical journey and ponder over the perpetually shifting nature of fact and fiction. Even the most innovative hypotheses aren't exempt from critique and examination. The perfect demonstration of this reality is Darwin's theory of evolution. Despite standing as a significant landmark in the realm of biological sciences, it has been confronted by a wave of detractors. The primary objections raised are centered around the theory's purported inability to fully grasp the intricacies of life and the gaps apparent in the fossil records. However, the essence of science is to evolve, gain insight, and refine its understanding. With this objective in mind, there have been propositions to correct and modify Darwin's original theory, designed to fill these perceived lacunae. Some of these considerations encompass genetic drift and gene flow, elements now thought to have a major influence on evolution. An intriguing addition to these is the concept proposing that evolution is not always a slow, gradual process, but can occur in abrupt surges. The true charm of science and knowledge lies in its inherent dynamism. The continuous debate around Darwin's theory of evolution and the proposed modifications emphasizes this. This discourse underlines the fact that our understanding of the world, much like the species we scrutinize, is continuously transforming. A vivid illustration that the boundary between reality and conjecture is flexible and subject to modification. Thus, when you next immerse yourself in the captivating realm of evolution, bear in mind that our understanding of it is as multifaceted and varied as life itself. This understanding isn't a rigid construct, but an ever-changing, adaptable, and enhancing wealth of information. Do not forget to click on like, subscribe, and share.